Here's a look at the equipment rack that we're using in the band that integrates with my guitar synth. This mass of wires you see at the bottom is a Behringer XR18, and many of the clubs provide sound, but we mix our in-ears with this. And then above that, I've got the UM1820 from Behringer, and what we're doing with that is I'm using it as an output for all the software in the computer in terms of the guitar sounds as well as the synth sounds. So the synth goes in, through USB from the computer, but the guitar, it comes through. I've got a wireless guitar receiver right here. That's the AKG unit, and that comes out of there, of course, analog, and then it goes into one of the channels on this Behringer interface. And I'm trying to have stuff labeled there. I process microphones in here as well, and then when it comes out of there, it goes into these mic splitters here. This is nothing unique to the synth. It's just part of our setup for the band. So we could split it out and go to the front of the house and then have control of our in-ears, with the XR18 down here. And they get to work with their setup that they like with our inputs. Okay, here's the software part of my synth setup. I'm going to show you how the patches are organized. We're going to take a look at this rack space here and what these controls do. And then we'll look at the back of the rack and how things are connected. And then I'll show you a little bit of Apple MainStage where I'm doing the guitar sound processing and vocal processing. So this is the song list view in Gig Performer, gigperformer.com. It's a great software that hosts the VSTs, and it has a scripting language I'm using to work with some of these controls. It's a very reliable software. I'm using some AU plugins as well as VST, notably Sample Tank and Contact. So let me just show you on the left here. This is the song list, and I actually can drag and drop songs in here. And within each song, I've got patches. So this obviously is a piano patch. And then as I push the advanced button on the MIDI controller, it'll go up to the next patch and the next patch and so on and so forth. And then we'll go to the next song. Now you see up here, these are the parts, and I advance through them as I go through the song. So each one of these patches has an associated rack space, and many of them are the same. You see this piano patch is the same as that one. But there could be variations in it. It could be changes in levels. I can have a preset level or tone or things like that. But here's the piano patch, and this is the level. There's a level control on my guitar with the triple play, and it will move this slider up and down. This low octave thing, when we play Don't Stop Believing, my low E string has an octave lower and the current octave piano sound being played. That's just something I preset in the rack space. I don't change between those two live other than when I go to the patch. And then this robot sound, that's another thing that I can control it on here, but that's something that is not controllable by the MIDI controller, and I don't need to turn it on and off generally anyway. So, and then strings, we were playing a song where there was string and piano, and I had where I could preset that. This message up here says Crunch 2. This is indicating what guitar patch I'm on. It's really just an indication because the guitar processing is not done in Gig Performer, although it could be. I have it in a separate application in Apple MainStage. The balance control here, this is when I click that button on the guitar wing for synth or guitar. And you see this lights up blue, and just like the button on the guitar wing. And when I push that button, it slides from one to the other. When I push the both button, it comes in the middle, and we get both synth and guitar. So that's controlled by, the guitar wing, as is this boost. Okay, and then down here, I've got some presets. These are not, the guitar patch is controllable by the guitar, but mostly these, the guitar patch, the scene, and the vocal effects, these are preset in the patch for a particular song. So for this piano patch, if I switch the guitar, I'm going to get the crunch guitar, but in another song, it might be on 3, which is the lead patch. So anyway, these are all the variables within this one rack space. And you can make more. You can add controls and make them do different things. Some of the magic behind this that I could help you with is I wrote a GP script code to take the signals from the guitar wing to control these things. Now, some of it's pretty easy, and you could do it just within Gig Performer, but I wanted a certain operation where the one button advances through, and then one goes a song at a time. So, like, instead of just going, from piano to strings, I could go from this song to this song immediately, or I could thumb through and go up to, the next song after that. So, those are all unique functionality that I programmed into Gig Performer with their GP script thing, and I'm glad to share that. All right, so then let's take a look at behind the rack. So this shows the MIDI in, and one of these is the triple play, and one of these is the MIDI controller, and then all that goes into Sample Tank, and Sample Tank is generating the audio, and it's coming out into gain and balance control, and then into another gain control that I use for that boost, and then yet another gain control because I had a system where I was monitoring through 2 different devices, and anyway, you don't need that. And then here's all the MIDI outputs. They're not connected to anything, but within my scripts, I actually wrote output to these different devices. So if you go back, so the devices are the Behringer interface that we looked at earlier, the Fishman guitar controller, which actually the way I'm doing it is rather than the guitar controller, the MIDI from the triple play controlling the patches, I'm going the other way. I'm cycling through the patches in Gig Performer. Gig Performer sends a signal to the triple play, and the triple play responds with the appropriate hardware patch, which might be the smooth pitch thing for bending, or it might be the trigger for the piano, and it might be different string sensitivities and things like that. So all those variables you set up in a hardware patch, I'm making the triple play change hardware patches through MIDI control rather than the other way. And this is great because it allows me to reorder my patches for different songs within the Gig Performer and not had to reprogram the triple play. And then this one, the MIDI out, this is a like a virtual driver that I use to connect the Gig Performer to the Apple MainStage. So in Apple MainStage, I have responded to things within Gig Performer, like those guitar patches. And then the last one is the MIDI out going into the guitar wing, and this is where we're resetting buttons and changing the colors and things like that. So that's the front and the back. Let's take a look at MainStage. Okay, so here we are at MainStage, and you may ask, well, why are you using MainStage when you could do it all in Gig Performer? And what you're saying is true, but I got to tell you, while Gig Performer is very reliable, some of the plugins are not. And because of their lack of reliability, it can crash it. And at least if I'm in a separate software, I can always play guitar during the song. So that's why, and that's one of the key reasons. here's what I'm doing in MainStage. If you take a look here, I've got just 3 different sounds: clean, crunch, and lead. And they're set up on this mixer over here. And I've got it split off to where I could adjust my monitor mix separately. This is where it will change between these different patches according to a MIDI code sent from the gig performer that's set on that dial on the rack space in there. So that's what's going on there. And then when you push the robot button, it clicks this button in here, and that turns the robot voice on and off, which mutes my vocal channels. But I have vocals going through here too. And if you come on down, you'll see, let's see, yeah, TJ, Vinny, Jules, Eric. Where am I? I'm in here somewhere. Maybe, oh, it just says Mike. Yeah. So, because I used it first. But actually, I have everybody's voice processed in here. And I can add a doubling effect to the lead vocal just by changing guitar patch. We would get that part of the song or that song. It kicks it in automatically because the MIDI signal goes out and comes in here and turns it on, and then the next patch it'll turn it off. So all that, once it's programmed, it all happens automatically. So that's kind of nice. That's pretty much it. If you have questions about the guitar synth, you're welcome to contact me. I'm on the Triple Play Users All Over the World group. And also, you can just send me an email to bruce@thefringebenefitsband.com. Thanks.